Welcome to Apex Esports League. I'm JT. Tonight we're on iRacing for our first broadcast race for the 2022 season. We're starting off in the Skip Barber Formula 2000s for the Pagnian Import Skip Barber Cup, and it is supported by Pagnian Advanced Simulation, Next Level Racing and Logitech G, who's also putting up a fantastic prize to the winner of the championship. It's a 5-round series. We're starting off tonight for round 1 at Brands Hatch Circuit GP. Round 2 is Lime Rock Park GP. Round 3 we are at Alton Park, and then round 4 is Okayama International, and then finishing off for the final round at Phillip Island Circuit. Tonight's session at Brands Hatch, we've got 10 minutes of practice. Drivers are just heading over into the practice now, and then we've got 10 minutes of qualifying, and then the race is 40 minutes, and there is capped fuel, so the drivers will need to actually head into the pits to probably get through the course of the race. It is standing starts with single file lap cars to the back for restarts. And we finished up the year last year with the Pagnian Imports Ferrari 488 Championship, having Sebastian Vandel win the championship with a massive 550 points, Blake Urquhart sitting in second place with 502, and Jai Schultz with 480 points in position 3. And we did conclude at Imola for the final round, and it was a clean sweep by Sebastian Vandel, taking the pole position, fastest lap and the victory. And this is the prize that Logitech G has put up for the winner of the championship. So it's the Logitech G Pro X wireless gaming headset. It's a fantastic headset and a great prize to be able to be up for grabs for the drivers. So a big thank you to Logitech G Australia and New Zealand. And we'll bring up tracks so you can see a few drivers out on the track already. So we've got track length is 3.89 kilometers for Brands Hatch, and it's going to be a great track for the Skip Barbers. And then we'll bring up some audio. If you are joining us for the stream, do hit that follow button if you haven't done so yet. Also jump into the chat, say hello, let us know who you're here to cheer on. It's good to be back live after a good break. Ooh, a little bit slippery going around there. So that's Corey Brand. I'll bring up some information. So we've got 13 drivers loading in at the moment. So we're just past halfway through the practice session, and then we'll be heading over into first qualifying for 2022. And there is points up for grabs for qualifying. So there's 25 points on the line for taking pole. And the drivers are going to need all the points they can get while they are battling it out for the Logitech G wireless gaming headset. We have revamped our tower and graphics as well. So hopefully it's saying a little bit easier to see. We did only just have the driver's initials before, somebody tinkering around to get up their names. Then if you haven't hit that follow button, do so, and don't forget to check out our YouTube, which is at bit.ly/ApexESL, and that is case sensitive. You can see our social media links down the bottom. And you can head to our Facebook page where you can get all the results and standings from our races and see any incident reports. So we don't have live race control for the race. It is just being monitored by myself. And then we do have post-race stewarding, so any at-fault incidents can actually cost the drivers penalty points, and that will cost them dearly in the event of any at-fault incidents they may cause, especially not redressing any situations. That costs them a massive 60-point loss. And when we're having championships finishing up within only 50 points of each other, you cannot afford to take one of those. make our way through the list. Ryan Carlson. That's a nice slide down through Paddock Hill Bend. We'll jump on board for a lap, and he's got Holden marked on the side of the car there. We have Phillip Buckland, car number 17. Currently 4th quickest out there, another one going in for a slide. We've got the Full Throttle Racing car and branding the Apex eSports League on the side of it as well. Appreciate the support from the guys from the Lego on the car. Nathan Peters also Full Throttle Racing. And Aaron Maguire, I'm pretty sure it was the bolt-on racing cars. Some lovely graphics on these cars. Russell Gander currently in the pits. Bradley Morris. And Mark Cochran, who I think is debuting with us tonight. A little bit of lag showing, it just blipped out for a moment. That was as the session was actually ending, so it may have actually been server load more than that, and that's just disappeared off there. So now we're heading into the qualifying session. So we have Blake Urquhart. He's got some of the Marlboro paint job on there with the shell. Very classic old school Formula livery there. That looks fantastic. Matt Cesario. So we've bolt on. Have Matt Hardigan who's loading into the session. Robbie Bradbury in the KFC car. Century Motorsports, same as Corey Brand. Bradley Morris and Stephen Banks, all in those same team colours. Hopefully the KFC guys are doing okay with the chicken shortages, so they're usually joking about zingers and whatnot, so we'll jump on board with Blake. He'll be first to come up for a lap, so he's actually coming down to the second last corner. So on the gyro, a lot of slide coming through that last corner. Able to carry a lot of speed onto that final corner, go down the main straight. Track temperatures are starting to increase a little bit. It's 24 degrees. Lovely first corner. And turn to a very tricky long hairpin. Good fast section using lots of exit curve here. We're going that car straight out. Lots of speed, getting out 130 at corner exit for that turn. A lot of slide, he goes around the bend and up the hill. This next sector, a lot of ground can be made up. You get a perfect line that you can actually carve straight through rather quick. Don't have to worry about too much braking and just use a lot of throttle control. Cuts that curb nicely. Just using the downshift to turn that car through. A little bit of curb, it can be very slippery on that curb. The tail end of these cars does want to go out rather easily. They are long and skinny cars. This is going to be a pretty nice lap. It's probably going to be about a 140. .754. That is a very quick lap. Let's see, just the curb that they're getting. Going to be cautious not to get too much. It's Matt Cesario now out on track. Sorry, not Matt Cesario. Matt Hardigan's still not yet out on track. He's loaded into the session. We have Blake Urquhart with pole, setting that 1:47.54 for the first time lap. There's 5.5 minutes remaining of qualifying. A little bit of a slide there for Russell. Goes off. Barber has got a little bit of traffic up ahead, a bit of smoke as they come around the bend. The car slide. They've even been lock up of the brakes. And don't be shy if you're joining us for the stream. Let us know if the stream is working all okay. You can hear all audio, no dramas. And graphics are coming through nicely. It's on the nose of Robbie Bradbury's car. Bit of slip, that's put him out into the dirt, coming over turn 1. And Ryan not out and setting a time just yet. Phillip Buckland setting a 1:48.187. Cochrane in car number 176. A very British racing green car. Nathan Peters currently qualifying in 6th position. Blake Urquhart still holds that pole. He has improved on his lap time. He's set a 1:42.24. We were on board for his first timed lap, which was 1:40.7. Matt Cesario qualifying in 3rd. 1:41.955 is his lap. Maguire did just get bumped down a couple of spots. He was qualifying in 5th. Stephen Banks and Corey Brand then just getting in some quicker times. Stephen Banks now in 3rd position. He's 1.4 seconds away from the pole time. That's a very strong time. missing a few of our regulars as well. Hopefully they make it in the next minute so they can get in for some good championship points. Don't want to be missing out on a round when there's a fantastic prize on the line from Logitech G. Ontario now qualifying the 4th quickest time. Nathan Peters in 6th. Corey Brand carrying a lot of speed. See a lot of tail drift. Oh, there's a little bit too much. Saves the car. It's going to be enough to be able to actually get another timed lap in. Looks like he would have been looking pretty good to improve on his qualifying time of 1:42.8. So this will be the final lap. There's only 30 seconds left to the session. Stephen Banks just improved his time. He's moved up into position 2. Blake's parked up the car, so he's taken the pole. And Stephen Banks has gotten in the 140s, 140.8. Matt Tessero also in the 140s, 140.9. There's not much difference between Stephen and Matt. Rob Barber sitting 4th quickest time. Mark Cochran just going for a big slide. Mark bringing the car back into the pits. That's him done for qualifying. So this is final laps. And Ryan's just gone off track. That may be enough to invalidate his lap. Did drop off a fair bit. A lot of slide as he comes through this final bend. Can he improve his time? He's currently in 13th. Does not improve there. Stephen finished up. Robbie Bradbury. A few parked up. And there we have qualifying done. So we'll bring up qualifying results. We have Blake Urquhart taking pole position. Then we have Stephen Banks in 2nd, and then followed by Matt Tessero, Robbie Bradbury, Aaron Maguire, Mark Cochran, Bradley Morris, Nathan Peters, Corey Brandt, Phillip Buckland, Matt Hardigan, Russell Gander, and Ryan Carlson. So we'll be heading over into the session in a moment. The last drivers using up a little bit of time for the session before it changes over into the race. And then here we are crossing over to it now. Drivers have got a couple of minutes to grid the car. We should get a great view to the start here. It's good to be back having our opening round for 2022. Drivers eager to start off the year with a fantastic prize. One of these drivers being able to win the championship, and we'll take that Logitech G Pro X wireless gaming headset. And he's worth about $400, so it's a very good headset indeed. We're just waiting on Blake to load up. Blake is driving injured as well in the pre-race driver brief, mentioning he's injured his finger. Lost at work. There we are. All drivers have hit ready, so we're going to be seeing the lights about to go green. And green lights and away we go. A little bit of a delayed start from a couple. It's a good little run up the back. I think that is Carlson maybe moving on up. Blake gets away very quickly. He's got a couple of car lengths ahead of Matt. Sorry, it's not Matt Cesario. That is Robbie Bradbury. Ooh, there's a little bit of contact at the back. Let's see what happened. We'll rewind back and just see what happened at the start. Oh, that is very unfortunate. That could have gone much worse than it was. So those cold tyres on the first lap getting the better of Aaron Maguire. Now we're side by side, Robbie Bradbury and Blake Urquhart. Blake's just enough ahead. That rear slides out a little bit. He was carrying a lot of speed. He was taking a slightly different line while trying to defend his position. He's got Robbie Bradbury quickly closing in on him and looking to make moves. Stephen Banks not too far behind. Straight out into that curb. Carried a lot of speed through turn one. That's going to put some good momentum on for the next few corners. He's going to need to try and pull away from Robbie. There's a lot of exit curb there. Corey Brand. Currently right on the tail. I think he's running Carlson's car. He's starting to drop away. And Robbie Bradbury still trying to close that gap in on Blake. He seemed to be much quicker in the last sector, that first lap. So can he start to close that gap in again through here? Oh, a little bit slippery for Blake. That's just cost him some speed. That's going to allow Robbie to quickly catch up now. He lost a lot of momentum coming into the second last corner. On board with Robbie Bradbury. This fight actually starting to close that gap in. Ooh, a little bit loose there. Oh, I think Blake's gone out for a spin. There's going to be a pass. Gets Blake. Like a little bit slippery coming out of turn one. I think it may have actually dropped a bit of tyre off track. And he's now got some pressure from Stephen Banks. Nathan Peters looking to get around Mark Cochran. If you are joining us for the stream, don't forget to hit that follow button. We do appreciate the support for Apex Esports League. It'd be great if we can see ourselves get to that 190 follower milestone. Only a few away. Well, there's just been contact going on Bradley Morris. Let's see what was happening there. Ooh, took a lot of curb, put him into a spin. Oh, and he's taken some heavy nose damage. I think he may have actually even broken the suspension. No, it does look okay. The drivers. Oh, we've got Matt Serio currently in the pits. He also took some damage. So we'll go back and see what happened to Matt. So through turn one, a little too quick and out wide. He tried to save that car. He took a fair bit of damage. I'm not sure who he's actually collected there. I think that was Ryan Carlson that he may have actually made contact with. He seems to be sporting okay. So he's currently in 4th position. Blake Urquhart has retaken the lead back. The fastest lap of the race so far is Stephen Banks, setting a 1:41. 1:41 and 1:83. This is probably going to be a quick lap here for Blake. He's managed to get back around Robbie Bradbury. Serio still in the pits, so the drivers do have fast repairs they can use. However, if they have required a tow, it is a lengthy trip into the pits. So it's seen Matt drop down into 13th position. We have Aaron Maguire currently in 12th. Bradley Morris running in 11th. Matt Hardigan in 10th. Ross Agander in 9th. And there's a good little bunch of cars here. He's got Cochran, Peters and Buckland just up ahead. Ooh, a big spin there. That's Nathan Peters. That was a big slide. That's cost him dearly. He managed to get out of that without too much damage. Probably hold off and then tend to it. We might even actually see drivers starting to pit in, especially if they are sporting any damage. With the cars being capped for fuel, we should see the drivers need to get in to be able to have enough fuel to get home. We usually see most of the series around 10 minutes to go is when the cars are empty. We've even seen drivers fuel save and even get it home just crossing the line and many drivers running out on that last lap. So it'll be interesting to see how we go with some of these pit strategies the drivers may have. And it looks like Nathan Peters opted to stay out on track. And Mark Cochran looking for an opening to get around Corey Brand. Seems to be carrying a lot more corner speed. He closes that gap in, but then starts to drop away on the straights a little bit. And it is full open setups. The drivers have full control over the setups of the cars. It's not a fixed setup series. Ooh, a little bit of a slide there with Corey Brand. That's cost him some speed. That's going to allow Mark to get up alongside. He's going to be on the outside coming into the last corner. It's going to be a difficult position to go for a pass. He's going to switch back down into that inside line, carrying lots of speed. But he's going to have to try and move that car back out. He's going to have to squeeze out Corey a little bit. Otherwise, he's going to have to excessively brake to make this turn one. A little bit of slip. Brilliant pass there by Cochran. Up ahead is Phillip Buckland in position 5. Ryan Carlson in 4th. Banks in position 3. Oh no, Seb. PC crash. I was wondering what would happen to you. Heard you're pretty quick in these things. So unfortunately, Sebastian Van Dell unable to make it, having PC issues. All the guys were saying in the driver's brief that they were pretty much going to be betting on you to win the prize for the championship. So hopefully you can get your PC issues sorted out. And Blake Urquhart leading the race. He's led for 5 laps of 6. And we saw Blake lose out a lot of speed with a little slide coming out of turn 1, allowing Robbie Bradbury to make the pass. Locks that back right. He's carrying a lot of speed. That previous lap was a 1:42.49. So that's qualifying times that we're now seeing. Blake on fire at the moment. He's put a huge lead. He's now got 3.5 seconds over Bradbury. Banks hanging on to the tail of Bradbury. Is he going to be able to close that gap in on him? Ooh, a lot of curb there by Russell Gander. Bradley Morris, who's got that damaged front end from that spin. So the nose cone broken off. He hasn't damaged the wing, it's just that nose cone. So he's probably going to be losing out a bit of top end speed. The car seems to be steering okay. And I'm pretty sure it was this section here where it all went wrong for him several laps ago. Seems to be repairing well. So when he has to head in for fuel, the fast repair will touch that up. Sarah Maguire and Matt Cesario both having to head into the pits, with Matt requiring a tow. So he had the lengthy stop, so he's currently on lap 7, so he's only a lap behind. So he hasn't fallen back too much. That's probably a little bit early to be into the pits fuel-wise, so he's probably going to have to head in for another stop. However, if that's not the case, he's going to be able to catch up a little bit of ground. Our race leader is Blake Urquhart, now on lap 9. Putting a further lead over Bradbury. He's now extended it by 0.4. Even more, he's now up to 4 seconds. Banks starting to drop a little bit away from Bradbury. Russell Gander closing down on Cochrane. He's quickly closing that gap through Sector 1. About half a second between the two. He's going to be gauging for an opening here. He seems to be carrying a lot more speed. Takes a look, gets a good amount of exit speed. I'm feeling a little bit of pressure from Gander. When he's heading into the pits. So we're at the 22-minute mark now. So that's 18 minutes through, almost at the halfway point. Gander doesn't seem to have damage to deal with, so it would just be strategic for getting in for the fuel. It's a very quick stop for Gander. In and out with a splash of fuel. So it's going to be able to see him out for the race now. At 16 seconds in the pits. He's coming out just in front of Aaron Maguire. He moves out of the way for him. He's carrying a little bit less speed. Dropped a little bit in tyre temps during the course of his pit stop. There's no point contesting a position too harshly at that point. Especially if we're heading in with an early pit. And Aaron has been in and pit already. However, he did have to go in because of damage from an incident early on. It was on lap 1, so he's going to have to head back into the pits to be able to get through the course of the race for fuel. Blake still furthering this lead. We're on lap 11, he's led for 10. He's got 5.5 seconds over Bradbury. Banks still trying to rein in Robbie. All the drivers heading into the pits. So that was Phillip Buckland, Nathan Peters and Matt Hardigan. So they will be racing each other out of the pits. So it's Nathan Peters first to be released. Followed by Hardigan. Ooh, Corey's just locked up. I think that's turn one. He managed to save that car. And the cars are probably going to be getting fairly light now. The previous lap by Blake was a 1:39.869. Pretty sure fuel loads are getting incredibly light now to be able to be getting times out of the car like that. He qualified with a 1:40.2 from memory. That was the pole setting lap. And we did have Banks set the fastest lap pretty early on. Setting it in lap 3. And Blake reclaiming it on lap 5 with 1:40.8. And then he's improved on that over the course of 3 different laps, setting a 1:40.5, 1:40.2 and a 1:40.025. And then getting it down to that 1:39.677. Robbie's been in and pit. That's seen Stephen Banks move up into position 2. He's got 11.1 seconds away from Blake Urquhart. Mark having been in and got fuel. You'd see Russell Gander looking for an opening to get around Mark just before peeling off into the pits. And then that's seen him actually pull out into a position ahead. So currently running a 6th position. Bradley Morris currently in 5th. Probably moves back up into position 2. Stevens just been to the pits, grab some fuel, a 19.6 second stop. Ooh, a little bit of a lip there. Ooh, what a slide by Carlson. That was a spectacular drift. Have to jump on board for that slide. That was spectacular control of that car. We'll see if we can get a great view of it. It's carrying a lot of speed. So that very wide. Lovely driving there. Blake's been in and pit 17.7 seconds. So he's got his fuel. There's 16 minutes remaining. He's got 7 seconds lead over Bradbury at the moment. At the time of Robbie peeling off for his pit stop, that was about a 5-second lead. He's had about almost a whole, was held for a whole second longer than Urquhart. All drivers have been in and pit now. Those fuel loads will be planting the car down a little bit more on the track now. It's going to be a lot more stick to it. To make our way through the standings, we have Phillip Buckland in 13th position. Aaron Maguire currently 9.2 seconds ahead of Phillip, running in 12th. Matt Hardigan in 11th position. Nice little gap between himself and Maguire. So we have 15 seconds. He's only a couple of seconds away from Corey Brown, but he's heading into the pits. This will be his third stop. Ooh, slide there. Ryan Carson saves the car. He's looking for an opening here. He's carrying a lot of speed. Banks defends the racing line. I think it's going to be hard to try and fend him off here. He's carrying a lot of speed. Be risky taking it through the final corner. That car's sliding out. He's going to get side by side in on the outside line. We saw a superb drift from him here before. They're almost interlocked wheels for a moment. With the open wheel cars, huge risk of locking those tyres together. Still side by side, these two. Banks isn't giving up the position easily. He's making Ryan fight for it. This is an intense battle between these two. Brock on the front of his car. He's side by side here. Not enough to try and get in. He's going to be able to use that speed to come in for the inside line. Banks is defending that position. That car is very quick. He's got a lot more pace than Stephen at the moment. Oh, I think there's a touch between the two. That's a little bit of damage. I think he may have just touched the nose. We'll have a look. We'll pause and get a better spot. So he carried a lot of speed here. And he's broken off the nose cone and the wing. It's probably a little bit of a lag difference there. They were racing very quick there. That's unfortunate for Ryan. But that could have gone a lot worse. That was a good couple of laps battle there between Stephen Banks and Ryan Carlson. So we've got 11 minutes remaining to the race. Kart on lap 16, about to come on to lap 17. He's led for all but one lap. And he's been in and pitted, so he's got enough fuel to last out, so he just needs to be incident free. Keep it on the track and get that car home And he's going to be in a good position to start off the championship. We could potentially see a clean sweep for the opening round. He's got the fastest lap, so that's 10 bonus points that he's currently hanging on to. When our last championship was only a difference of about 50 points. Every point these drivers can get is going to be of advantage to them here. Banks now with a bit of breathing room. That pressure from Carlson now gone. Looks like he's got some damage to that rear wing as well. So it was quite the spin that he had. It's been a pretty good clean race. Looks like we're having a battle for 6th position. Just ahead of Bradley is Mark and Nathan. Nathan goes off. Costing him position. Mark moves up into position 6. Bradley now sitting tight on the tail of Cochrane. Goes for an inside mover. He's going to be carrying a lot of speed through turn 1. Gets him. What a spectacular pass. Makes his way back up into 6th position. Ahead of him is Russell Gander in position 5. He's got 16.5 seconds till he catches Gander. Car is really quick. He puts that car into a slide. It carries a lot of speed in it. Sim Banks in 3rd. Probably Barber in 2nd. Looks like he's got some lap traffic up ahead. Maybe Cesario's car. Currently in 12th position, is 1 lap down. Blue flag will be shown for Matt. He'll try and get around quickly and cleanly. Wants to try and close that gap in as much as he can on Blake Urquhart. Ooh, a spin just out in front of him. That's some heavy damage there for Matt. May have actually looked worse than it is. The car seems to be doing okay. We bring the car into the pits. Keeps it out on track. It seems to be steering okay. I think there's just nose damage. And our race leader, Blake Urquhart, on lap 20. His previous lap, a 1:40.036. And then also Bradbury and Banks getting in the 40s. 40.334 and a 40.792 for Bradbury and Banks. He's carrying a lot of pace at the moment. Those cars probably seeing the lighter end again. Oh, a little bit of tail slide as Blake comes through that corner. So there's 4 minutes remaining. Adversario in 13th position, Phillip Buckland in 12th. Corey Brand running in 11th. Aaron Maguire in 10th position. Matt Hardigan running in 9th. Nathan Peters in 8th position. He's only a couple of seconds away from Mark Cochran in position 7. Bradley Morris pulling away quickly from Cochran now. Sitting in 6th position. He's got a little while before he can catch Russell Gander, who's in 5th. Ryan Carlson in 4th position. Oh, I'm not sure. Is that Serio? Runs off wide. Allowing Ryan to get around. It's quite a hefty lock into turn 2 for Matt Serio. Stephen Banks in 3rd position. He's got a ways off till he catches Robbie Bradbury. 11.3 seconds between himself and Ryan Carlson. Carlson is dealing with a damaged car. He's only about 0.4 different in the previous lap times. Robbie Bradbury in position 2. I think that's Corey Brandt that he's just gotten around. Those cars starting to slip that tail out through turn 1. The cars on that lighter end again. We saw a lot of sliding going on at this point when the cars were becoming much more light just before those pit stops. And then it wasn't until a few more laps after that they did pit in. So will these drivers still have enough fuel to make it home? Blake's got a 10.6 second lead on the race. That can all come undone with one tiny mistake. I'm seeing these cars go into some big spins. We almost jinxed him. And especially while the cars are getting rather light. We could even potentially see them run out of fuel. Blake's previous lap of 1:39.855. His fastest lap of the race is the 1:39.481. So that's got him hanging on to 10 bonus points if he can keep that lap time. So there's 40 seconds remaining, so this will be white flags to just cross the line. with the time session. Once we see it run down and not have enough time to get another lap around. This will be the final lap. They got to keep it on the black stuff for half a lap, and then he's won the opening round for 2022. And on his way to winning himself a Logitech G Pro X wireless gaming headset. Robbie in position 2. So here's white flag waved. Blake on his way to take the checkers home. Only 3 more corners to go. And he's there. He's got enough time to be able to just play cautious for this last sector. He's got 12.3 seconds over Bradbury. Oh, a lot of slide. He saves it. Is he going for a Brock and get the fastest lap of the race on the final lap? He's got 1:39.481. That's a 1:39.9. It's a very quick lap, but congratulations to Blake, taking victory in the first round for the Pagnian Import Skip Barber Cup. Robbie Bradbury also on the podium, taking position 2. Stephen Banks not too far behind. Also on the podium in position 3. And drive to our podium finishes. Ryan Carlson in position 4. Congratulations, Russell Gander coming up in 5th. And we'll be crossing over to interview our podium finishers. Russell Gander crosses the line in 5th position. Mark Cochran, it's his debut race with us on iRacing tonight. Crossing the line in position 6. Bradley Morris not too far behind in position 7. Same as Nathan Peters and Matt Hardigan, 8th and 9th. A very close finish between the two. Aaron Maguire not too far off as well. And Corey Brand, I'm not sure if he's whereabouts he is on the track, if he's actually already crossed the finish line. Yeah, I think he has. Phillip Buckland in 11th, and oh, Matt Tesserio's really crashed out through turn 1. He's wrecked that car. And there we have the conclusion of round 1 for the Pagnian Import Skip Barber Cup. And we'll bring up the results and bring in our drivers for an interview in the moment. So Blake Urquhart taking the victory. And then also on the podium is Robbie Bradbury in position 2 and Stephen Banks in P3. And the rest of the standings is Ryan Castle, Russell Gander, Mark Cochran, Bradley Morris, Nathan Peters, Matt Hardigan, Aaron Maguire, Phillip Buckland, Corey Brand and Matt Tesserio. Only 1 lap difference between the two, so that's not too bad. So a very close race in the end for the field. And then we'll bring the guys in. We have Blake in here. I do just have to unmute him. So we have you there, Blake. Congratulations on the win.
Cheers, mate.
It's off to a good start to getting yourself the Logitech G Pro X wireless gaming headset.
Yeah, no, it feels good. It's a bit of a touch race, but went off a few times. But yeah, we pulled away, and yeah, got Robbie through the got him a bit more in the pit, so that helped for my few more offs. But yeah, other than that, it was good fun. Car was good, good setup, and yeah, it was good fun.
Oh yeah, did see a nice little save on that last lap through sector 3.
Yeah, well, that was my
Tail
fastest.
slide it.
Yeah, that was my fastest lap as well. So that was happy days. It was a good race. Yeah, podium to Robbie and Steve, and yeah, it was good. Good fun.
Yeah, congratulations, Robbie, taking P2.
Yeah, thanks, mate. Someone was just that little bit quicker.
Yeah, yeah, it was a nice pass you got on him when he got a little bit loose through turn 1. Early on in the race, though, it could have gone very badly if that had gone into a full-blown spin.
Yeah, I was trying to sucker him into it off, but Blake and I have raced enough now. We know each other, so full credit to him. I just couldn't catch him, even in the toe. Just kept pulling away. Hats off to him.
Yeah, well done.
Here's Robbie.
Congratulations, Stephen. Position 3.
Yeah, thanks. That was a good fun race. Pretty clean. Blake was just too quick. Hopefully next week we get that little bugger.
Chase him down.
Chase him down, yeah. Yeah, no, well done. It was just way too quick on the night. I think I messed up my fuel too. I tried going an extra lap and it started spluttering with half a litre. About half a lap to go, so...
That's very
yeah.
close.
How much fuel do you have, Blake?
So you had 3.7 across the line.
No, like on the pit stop. You went the extra lap too, didn't you?
Yeah, I fuel saved a bit.
Ah, right. Yeah, because I was wondering that. Because it was the same distance when you come out, and yeah, Steve was telling me he was coughing. I'm like, oh, you might be too, but
Yeah, before pit stop, I was sitting on. I was going to go that extra lap.
Yeah.
It was sitting at 1.6, and after one, they just start us. So I was like, nah, not doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was at 1.2 when I crossed the line, and wasn't enough. Well, it was enough to get to the pits, but yeah, slowly.
Yeah, no.
Cars were looking very flighty towards those last few laps as well, especially around the midpoint too, before he's all started peeling off.
Yeah, turn 1, they're very sketchy.
Oh yeah, yeah. I had a little moment once. I don't know if you were there or I was by myself, but yeah, I went off there.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I saw a few impressive drifts through turn 1.
yeah, I thought I had to leave early because my finger started to kill and I started driving with one hand. That's when I started. When every time I went off, it just it just flicked on me and it just killed me. And I was like, nah, I got to drive with one hand. So, but yeah, no,
well
it's
to
good.
be injured and driving with one hand and take the victory. So well done.
Yeah, cheers, mate. Cheers, boys. It was good fun.
Yeah.
Congratulations,
Yeah.
guys.
Well done, mate.
Forward to seeing us back out in the Barbers at Lime Rock Park next week.
That'd be good. Cheers, JT.
Cheers, mate. See you then.
Cheers, mate.
And there we have our podium finishers: Blake Urquhart, Robbie Bradbury, and Stephen Banks taking the podium in round 1. As I did just mention, we're off to Lime Rock Park next week for round 2. So plenty of racing action coming up now that we're back into the new season for the year. And we've got Project Cars 2 on Thursday night. So that will be seeing us in the Formula Rookies, some more open wheel cars. And for those that aren't aware, the Formula Rookies in Project Cars is their version of the Formula Fords. And we are going to be running 2 divisions, so we're going to see 2 splits run that night. So do hit that follow button so you can stay tuned for that. We will be going live with that on 7:30 PM Australian Eastern Daylight Time on Thursday night, and then of course we'll be back again next week, same time, 7:30 PM on Monday night for round 2 of the Pagnian Imports Skip Barber Cup. So thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to hit that follow button, and I hope to see you trackside next time.